I've been critically analyzing what is coming up in my mind, and I feel that it's important for at least me to get it out and to share. And if people find that interesting, great. If not, whatever. But what is objectively real? What is objectively happening right now that makes us different than this reality that we find ourselves in? We are the only things here that is actually capable of being conscious and aware of what's going on here. And by that I mean we are the only things in the natural world that is capable of actual judgment, of looking at this place and consciously judging that it is wrong. Nothing else here is capable of doing that. The plants and the animals and all the different shapes and sizes that they come in, they're aware as in they're sentient, but they don't have the capabilities to look around and question, to have actual agency in their mind, to reject, to deny, to refuse, to judge the world that they're in and say, yes, this system is working in the way it was designed to work. But at the root, it is evil because it produces suffering. It relies on suffering to feed life. And that is inherently wrong, evil, despicable, because suffering is not... So you can use your imagination to imagine other ways of being that do not require suffering to sustain itself. The animals and plants can't do that. They're basically running their scripts without any actual conscious awareness to judge it. We are different in that way. So in that way, think deeper on that. The human is not naturally adapted to this world. Yes, we share a body. We have an earthly body, but this earthly body did not originate from nature in the way that we were taught. This body is not adapted to this world. Our consciousness is different. It's the only thing that is actually different than the world around us. So when I say I'm not from here or this is not my home, objectively, I can say I am extremely different because I have the capabilities to analyze and judge this world and say I reject it. You also have that capability. Nothing else in this world has that capability. They're perpetual slaves to this system, whether they like it or not. They don't like it, and they don't have the conscious ability to like it or not. They just are. They don't have to put on fake copes of how to deal with this reality. They just do. They don't think about it. They're incapable of questioning it. That's why the human experience is more... We're suffering more because we have the added awareness. We have the added awareness, and if we follow it to its conclusion, we see the world as inherently wrong and evil because we have the imagination to imagine other ways of being. We have the self-reflection to reflect on how suffering is wrong, enslavement is wrong, rape and torture is wrong, yet every day, moment by moment, it continues as the slaughterhouse that it is. And most people who are searching for the truth, who say they're, truth seekers, they want to know the whole truth and nothing but the truth, it's hard for them to see this place objectively because of how brutal and harsh it actually is. And we want to make up all of these copes and delusions on why we're here and what's going on here. That's how I see it. For me, it's not a cope to say I don't belong here because I don't belong here. For me, it's not a cope to say I am not of this world because I am not of this world. This is a different creation than what I actually am because I am conscious and aware to reject it. This is not my world. This is not where I want to be. I fully condemn it all of it, and all the mental gymnastics and the hoops we have to jump through to try to justify this pathetic existence and to make it okay because of some spiritual teaching or some test or some higher beings, us working towards reaching our hand out and saying, I need help. And you're never high enough. You're always climbing and being knocked down and rolling down those stairs day after day. And the coping that comes with just being okay with it all. Just sitting in the presence of it all, detaching, becoming neutral, all of those things, yes, it helps. But at the end of the simulation, it's doing nothing but coping with this existence. For me, the ultimate of ultimate truths that I have been able to come to while here is this. This life is camouflaged. It's a delusion of illusions, purposefully taking your hand and pulling you here and there, distracting you, making you go down all these rabbit holes and wild goose chases, trying to figure out what the hell this is all about, when all along it is pure evil, disguised as a learning experience, a school, a battleground of testing your spirit, of a wild, chaotic, Big Bang event, and now you're here because of some random occurrence of nature. No, it's this, no, it's that, blah, 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 blah. Oh, these beings, they want you to get out. You just have to work for it. Oh, they're just waiting for you to return to them to get you out. But in the meantime, you're trapped here, being mind-controlled, tortured and poisoned and every single thing, deluded, mind fucked. But they're all just outside waiting, hoping, praying that you will finally transcend to perceive them enough so that they can finally whisper little sweet nothings in your ear, and it's all gonna be okay. We're here now. We're helping you. Shh. Don't let those pesky little Archons know. Just keep trying. Try harder. Jump through more hoops. God damn it, you're such a pathetic little worm. We love it when you have to run around and do little tricks for us. Oh my God, it never ends, does it? It never ends. We're the only things that are consciously aware enough. Like I said, we're different. We're not of this place. Why are we not of this place? It's because it almost feels like we were genetically modified with animals and fused together. And now we're in this animal body with the only means of awareness to perceive this world as evil, because nothing else is capable of doing that. If an animal gets put in a pen, it's going to fight to get out. Not because they know it's wrong, but because they have the instincts to fulfill their natural desires. Now, when you lock us up in a cage, most people will have that same animal fight within them because they want to fulfill their desires. No, I don't want to be locked in this cage. I want to go eat and shit and have sex and have a social life and all these things. You realize this is just the higher intellect of the animal, because it takes real conscious awareness to not only reject the cage, but to reject the whole system. This whole system is the cage, and it's evil. And when you reach this certain awareness, there is nothing anyone can ever tell you that changes that fact. Nothing. It's all gaslighting and copes. And I don't want this to be reality, but it is reality. And if you're truthfully on this journey for the absolute truth of this place, and you don't reach this conclusion, then you are in fact telling yourself lies and you're allowing yourself to be manipulated and deceived into seeing a bloody corpse as life. And I'm not saying you should be depressed and miserable and focus on all the negatives and don't do anything, quote, good for yourself. With this conscious awareness, we're able to see what it is, reject it, use our imagination to imagine different things, different possibilities than here. It's not necessarily your fault if you fall in that deep, dark hole of depression and misery. Because guess what? Who puts you there? This life. This life is the hole, and you're aware of it now. Can you imagine if you were the only animal in existence who was consciously aware of their predicament, and you look around and every other animal is just following their natural scripts, unable to consciously look around, perceive, and judge with true seeing the horrors that life actually is. They're all just running around eating, fucking surviving, and you're finally conscious and you're like, holy shit. And you try to tell all your other animal friends, and they don't even understand you because they don't even have the conscious ability to perceive it. And it's not even their fault. They were made that way. They were devolved into that state of consciousness. I don't know if they were devolved, but they're just incapable because they weren't built that way. Now, if this is, well, it is. So we're in a cage prison-like realm, and they have to manipulate, deceive, torture, gaslight, and make us believe in delusions and fairy tales so that we don't actually see where we are. So we can't accurately judge it for what it is. So they put on these little plays and these little shows for us on the world stage so that we direct our focus and attention into looking and saying, wow, there's evil running this place. And if we get rid of the evil, this place can return back to being a la fairy tale, peaceful, loving land. Oh, look, they're poisoning us over here. Oh, look, they're enslaving us over there. While never actually figuring out the root of this world is slavery, is domination and power over the weak, is you consuming and being consumed. There is nothing good about this life. The only thing that you can actually say is good could possibly be your awareness and choosing to reject. And instead of bringing suffering and fear and domination and power over others, you bring something this world does not have or offer. That's the thing. This world does not have mercy. This world does not have love. This world always gives with the expectation that it's going to take more than it gives to you. This world was not created on love. This world was created on mental, emotional, and turmoil for the conscious ones in it. Nothing else can be this conscious of where they are besides you and me. Nothing else has the capabilities to say, hey, wait, this is so inherently wrong and twisted and evil. How the fuck did I get here? How the fuck did I end up here? And then you have all the delusions and fairy tales that want to tell you, oh, you were created in the image of God, or oh, you're just a freak accident, or oh, it's a test. You chose to come here. I don't care what your story is. My awareness has come to the conclusion that I totally and utterly reject this evil creation with all of my heart and all of my will. And there is no turning back now. There is no turning back from the fact of how I see this place. And any and all justifications that try to justify it, that try to say, oh no, you're just seeing it wrong, that try to say, oh, you're just delusional, that's fine by me. But I cannot unsee the truth of what this reality actually is. And the only thing that makes me different from it is that conscious awareness. And that conscious awareness is going to move as far away from this place as possible. But not only that, this conscious awareness wants to utterly destroy this for what it is. To stop the suffering, to stop the rape and torture of all life. All life. All life. It is insanely bizarre to be wide-eyed awake in a realm that is akin to hell. And you've heard your whole life, oh, hell is a separation from God and it's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Well, guess what? Whatever created this thing, whether they want to call itself God, the Almighty, whatever term you want to call it, it's not good. And there's no way that I'm going back, merging, connecting with these higher beings, just waiting for me to reach out and say, I need you, I am sorry, it's my fault for the way the world is, and please heal me. My imagination is imagining goodness, purity, real love, for lack of a better word, justice, true morality and ethics that just do not exist in this place. They just don't. So that makes you question, what do you do now? How do you move forward? There's absolutely nothing in this world that I desire or want to work toward other than leaving and destroying this place. Not out of spite for any human or animal or feeling of I've been wronged in life, so I want to take everything out. It's so much deeper than that. Knowing that the very essence of this world is pure evil and it needs to be stopped is where that desire comes from. Not to cause suffering, not to get revenge on the people who wronged me, but to snuff out the pure evil controlling this realm. And it's like, oh, this is all fairy tale talk, and well, so be it. I have a conscious awareness that can imagine these things. That makes me different than the animals and the plants. The human-animal hybrid that I somehow ended up being, and the animal nature always competing with the the higher spiritual nature. What is the spiritual nature? The spiritual nature is the elevated awareness to self-reflect and perceive what other things of this world cannot. That makes you an elevated awareness who is capable of judging this place. And the more and more you can indoctrinate, unprogram, and see it objectively and unbiasedly without any sort of religious dogmas, philosophies, backstories, trauma-bonded thoughts, and just see what is, then you've come to the conclusion that this is in fact hell disguised as something not so bad. So where do you go from here? That's the question. I've totally reached that conclusion. This place was obviously created by some higher form of intelligence, and we just got plopped our asses in here. Totally different than the natural habitat and the natural animals that are surrounded by us. Forced to participate in it, gaslit and traumatized in ways that animals are not able to be. Forced to have delusions of what the world actually is and what to think about it and how to cope with it. Animals don't have to cope. We do. Oh my gosh. So I guess here's what I've always thought. Just keeping that awareness of I reject this place to my core. I'm forced to participate. I have to keep participating until the day I don't have to. Whatever delusion happens upon me that tries to justify or belittle the actual true experience of suffering is just that. These things, entities that created this place, demons, devils, archons, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Okay. They're wanting me to stop. I don't fucking know. It's the mind becomes exhausted and it plays mind games with you and it tells you just shut the fuck up. But objectively, I didn't create this body. All the cells work and communicate with each other in order to keep this meat suit functioning like some kind of AI robotoid with my consciousness just generated from the brain. Not generated, but like transceived. My brain is the transceiver. This perception of the world that I'm in is overlaid in front of me. And now I'm supposed to believe this is a real world. I'm supposed to be gaslit to think this is all natural. This is where I originate from. Yet something in me totally and utterly rejects it all. My whole life, it's tried to make me aware that this is wrong. This is not where I want to be. But then the world comes back and deceives and gaslights you. Just become one of the other NPCs. Just become like everyone else. Just go after the desires and fulfillments of your flesh. The animal inside of you. Just like all the other animals do. And then when you inevitably do wrong or follow those desires, you're bad. You're evil because you're bringing suffering to other things. But the whole time, this place was run on that. And anytime the human stoops to those levels, you're just acting like everything else here. Don't you see? Everything here is acting on that. All the animals and plants act on that. But when you do it, there's something wrong with you. No! There's nothing wrong with you. It's the reality that you're in. And it's your animal programming that's making you stoop to those levels of lying, stealing, cheating, murdering. This life is murder. Everything is murdering everything else. But somehow, us humans, we have the unique special position of being the only murderer here. That is evil and wrong. The only special position of when stealing and dominance and power, we're inherently evil and wrong. No, this whole creation is evil. Don't you see? We just have the awareness to reject it and see it for what it is. So when we consciously reject, I don't want to murder, yet you're forced to just to live here. But I don't want to murder another human being unless justified, unless self-defense, because they're going to bring harm to me. That's you rejecting the world. When you say, I don't want to steal to the best of my ability, that's you rejecting the world. When you say, I don't want to bring unnecessary suffering to those around me, that's you rejecting the world. Because like I said, nothing is exempt from that. All animals do that. They don't consciously choose to do that. It's just the way it is. So when you consciously judge the world and say, I don't want to participate in that, that's you becoming not of this world. But here's the thing. Realize that as long as you're in it, you're forced to participate in some way or the other. Nothing you do really exempts you from bringing suffering. Every step you take, you're the giant, destroying those little critters below you, decimating whole forest and homes. But guess what? They aren't consciously aware of it. They just feel the suffering. I'm not saying you should internally just think about that all the time. Like, oh, I am the Nephilim walking around a giant, destroying all beneath me. That's the mind games they want to play on you. Just the simple fact that, hey, I become aware and I reject it. I'm going to do the best I can, but I reject it. I mean, at the heart of it, that's kind of all you can do. You're a conscious awareness observer trapped in hell, in a hellish experience. Uniquely gifted, or not gifted, but you have the unique ability to actually be conscious in a nightmare. And that in and of itself is a kind of torture that nothing else gets to experience but you. Huh. Well, that's fun. That's great. So yeah, with all that said, this feels like a foreign installation that we've been deceived into believing is our natural environment. But really it's a prison cell. We're led to believe we're just like an animal, which objectively we're not. We're just in the body of one, a human-animal hybrid. Okay, we cannot survive in nature. Our bodies do not fit into nature like animals do. That's just an objective fact. We have to build things. We have to build environments. We seek to alleviate our suffering in ways that animals just don't. An animal can walk around with a freaking dingleberry on its butt for weeks. We were like, oh, I don't want that. I gotta get rid of that. We're self-reflective in ways animals are not. That was just a kind of silly example, but something's so inherently wrong with this reality that it really leaves one going mad, because everywhere you look, it's deception after deception after deception. And you realize, okay, this world is the deception. Obviously, this is one big giant deception. But why? Why is it a deception? Because it wants to manipulate your conscious awareness into believing this world is all there is. It's okay, I'm justifying it in some way or another. Here's a religion that tells me this is what it's about. Here's a religion that tells me what that's about. Okay? Control and domination and power over you. Control, domination, and power over you. That's what this world is. And it gives you the feeling of you can also control and dominate and have power over other things below you. And you justify it because, well, we're more conscious than they are, so it's okay. None of it's okay. All of it's evil. It is. I like to think that we're not evil. We're not evil at the heart, at the core. Because true evil recognizes evil and says, I like it. Oh, this is great. I can be evil too now. I can do everything in my power to become just like it. It's the devil's playground, and I'm one of the demons, so I get to mess around and have fun now. Let me rape, torture, and enslave all those around me. Let me use money to enslave and manipulate and control others. Where the consciously good are like, no, I reject all of that. I want to end it. I want to end the slavery and torture and suffering and power dynamics of the powerful over the weak. Yes, I am a participant, an unwilling participant with a gun to my head telling me to move, to act, to be, to justify it all, because I have to survive, don't I? I don't justify any of it. all of my actions of bringing suffering and enslavement of other people, animals, all of that, I don't justify any of that. It's wrong. It's evil. And I imagine a better place where that doesn't exist. And if they come and say, well, your karma, look at all the things you've done and all the suffering that you've inflicted, you're just like us, I'm gonna say, fuck you. I'm nothing like you. I reject this place. Even if there's a gun to my head telling me to move, internally I reject it. I reject it. What is this actually doing, huh? What is this actually doing? I don't know. It's empowering my spirit. Some people don't like that word, but the awareness that can see that's different. The awareness that's different than the world around you, than the animals and plants and anything in nature. That awareness that can imagine something different. That's what I'm talking to. That's what I'm empowering. Because when they take your past, your history, and your memories from you, and they get you to believe this is all there is, this is what you are, and when you go on the truth-seeking journey and you find out it's all evil, and you're in that hopeless despair of, I just want to end it all then. And they keep the truth of who you actually are, what you're actually capable of. That's a huge detriment to you when they keep the truth from you and allow yourself to believe delusions and fairy tales about what you are, whether it be super fluffy, duffy, positive, all is love and light, or super dark and negative, I'm just as evil as this place is. There's no true freedom or liberation for anything because I only have the experience of this life, and this life has taught me it's impossible. Either way, I feel we're working from a deluded place. Every time I hit these pauses, something's telling me, hey, all right, stop the video, you're done, just cut it off. I don't know, maybe there's something else in here. Well, I guess they cut me off because I'm out of blank now. Damn it. That's the thing. When we actually get to experience something that is not so life draining and sucking, and every moment you're fighting just to get enough energy to breathe, basically. And the jaws of this life aren't around your throat. And you have that expanded energy. Whatever the fuck that means. But I can imagine it. I can imagine what that's like. To not be so weighed down by this chain around my neck. Well, okay, I guess that's it because I'm exhausted.